Well, hello there, and this will be a follow-up video on Honda lawnmowers. I'm sure all of us have seen in the media and the like where anyone that even uses a gasoline anything is a fossil fueling center. And on the topic of Honda lawnmowers, Honda, I guess, has acknowledged that, and they want to be good stewards of that environment, don't we all? But they're, I guess, going to abandon anything that's a gas engine here, or considering it, and in lieu of battery power, which I think is crazy. So, what I've decided to do is look into this as I'm seeing more and more yard sales where people are all but giving these things away, gilded out by the fact that they're contaminating and leaving a huge carbon footprint on our environment, and they want to get rid of it now while they can. Even though, gee, when you go to look at one of these, they're 1,700 bucks with tax. In the commercial example, like you see here, here's their website, for instance. So what I've opted to do is look on Craigslist, Facebook, the various classified medias, whatever, for lack of a better word, and I'm finding more and more of them. And this will be my excuse me, my third example in having found one that I feel garners or would garner good return, and merit that investment. And in most instances, they're anywhere from $100 to $300. I think this one here that I picked up just saw one season, and they were asking $500 for it, and it was on for 17 weeks, and no one wanted it. So I picked it up for $250. Called the guy up, and yeah, you never know what you're gonna find when you look under lawnmower on both of these venues. But in the midst of it all, it's going to be something. It's going to be interesting. I don't think grass is going away anytime soon, so who knows? So anyway, having collected this most recent one, I decided to do as I prefaced in the first one, uh, pulling it all apart, and aren't there both inner and outer bearings where you'll again pop off these. Now this is what I like to do. Yeah, I mean, it's just something to have fun with. These are a neat engineering marvel, I think. And on the wheels, there's inner and outer bearings. There's a total of two per wheel. And the wheels are unique for front and back. And then we'll see the cogs. And, they sound and indexed like something like you'd see on a 10-speed bike or something, to engage again, this example, the hydrostat drive in the back. And this guy never even used the bag on this one. And, he's looking at me and I'm looking at him, and we're thinking, yeah, there's that embellished in grease for those cogs. And these all slip right off with a 14 millimeter nut. It's done in just mere seconds. And again, two per wheel. He's looking at me like, oh man, I got a sucker on the line, So I gave him $250 for it, and took the handle off and loaded it in my little tiny car, and got out of Dodge. And I could see it in his eyes, boy, what a fool, and what do you mean? I'm thinking, and that's funny how opposites attract. And, that's what makes a ball game. But, gee, you pay what? You can't go to make an offer at a Honda dealer like a steel dealer. You have to pay the price. And the guy could have cared less, So, all right. So, yeah, when you grace these with that oil and grease, they go around nice, and they're good and heavy. They're very stout. And when you plant them on here, I mean, the thing just wants to do one thing, and spin. And my gosh, the knobs are still on the tires, literally. So yeah, this is just utter grace when you finish this kind of thing up, and I think that's impressive written all over it. Impressive. So let's shut off the fuel, run it out of gas, tip it to the side, and do some maintenance here. Okay. Well, of course, I've run the fuel out of the carburetor, shut it right off, let it starve. Run it a minute, and this is as easy as you can get. So I'll get that done too. So as we get started and the oil's out of it, let's investigate a little bit here. Now look at, I realize this is really anal, you know, but that's me written all over it. Nobody's gonna do this, but I cleaned it off a little bit here, and I'm looking at things, kind of getting an idea of what's going on. And this is a pretty new example, so there's really no concerns here. But these shafts, don't they? They want some oil, and I'll embellish these areas later. We'll watch that in the video with some undercoating and a product called fluid film. Maybe look at the clutch. Get into all that. So we can look at this clutch now. I don't know, kind of reminds me of a snowmobile, except it's not engaged centrifugally. It's cantilevered in with a handle. But let's see what happens here. There's the disc. There's the plate. Anyway, then what we're after is, isn't it, the same thing as right here. So we're gonna get this out of here. And there's what I'm after. I want him embellished in grease. Let's go in and get him. So there's a stopper in this disc, we'll call it, where that bearing can go in and then go no further. So let's get all this off. Again, I'm trying to hold the Galdane phone here and do all this. Okay, turns out I'm just gonna leave well enough alone. Somebody was having a good day at work, because I'm liking this. So, you know, I'm gonna do something while I'm in here, but look, see, this is what we're after. All we want is that baby filthy in that oil and some grease. And this is gonna go back on, and we're gonna put him in there and massage him a little bit and plant him right back in the way that he came. Oh, I can feel it now. It's going right in. Oh man, the tighter the better. Hear it? Went right in. That lip slid right in, and God will get you for what you're thinking when I said that. And that's it. So now we don't have to worry about this clutch, and it should be noted that there are two little nylon bushings that go on these pins that stage this upon a reassembly. So see, this bottoms out, this bearing bottoms out on this lip on the metal plate. You don't want to pull him off here, the blue cover to the bearing to get to the, you know, the business of the bearing, to embellish it in grease and oil. Rather you want to do that on this side. See, you know, look at opinions are many, and that's mine. So again, when we engage this, there's friction. Here's the friction shoe right here. And then you're gonna collide with a great effort, this spring, to overcome that pressure that you, cantilever in with that triggering mechanism up there. And then here are these bushing inserts I was talking about. They go right in there. So see, hole and hole. And then when we stage that, pin and pin. So if we were to do this here, this is what's going to happen. Only see, we got to cage him again. So obviously I can't hold the phone. I know, get a tripod or something. Well, I'm working on that. And I could show you that, but that's what's going on in the business end. And then once you'll want to get some oil in this cable here. It'll wick it right in. Oh yeah, look at it, take it. He loves it. To a good long life. And I'm gonna hit these cogs here, put this in here, and then I'm gonna turn it 180 degrees the other way, and I'll hit it here and here and here, and I'm not gonna mess with the hydrostat. There's probably only 10 hours on this, if that. Look at it, I mean, really light use. So yeah, watch for these on Craigslist and, what is it, Facebook or something? Rummage sales. People don't want to, they're gilded out now with fossil fueling sinners and what they're labeled as, literally putting signs in the yard. Anyway, everybody's replacing these in lieu of electric, which to me is crazy. But I'm a diehard, what do I know? Okay, let's get this back together. All right, and when we get that in there, we're gonna line those pins right up. There's the money shots, yeah. Right up with those plastic bushings I just prefaced a moment ago. So then we're gonna draw him, aren't we? Right up. See how he runs right in? And don't get crazy here. That's it. Done. And then, as I said, we'll wick oil and that cable end right there. Just, you know, we're here, right? Wouldn't hurt. Okay, let's do that. Okay, and lastly, these blades on this example machine, this is the third machine I've gotten. They're fine. They just need to be touched up a little bit with a rat file. This is starting to rust because nobody cared here and put a lawnmower away where they cut wet grass, and that deck's starting to degrade. So I'm going to clean that up and embellish it with a good fluid film and some undercoating to try to stop that. Okay, so a note again, pull these little rubber for weather sheaths back, and look at how hungry he is for that oil. You can have it, baby. You're going to get all you need. And I'm looking in the phone as I do this, so it's not. But he's taking it right in just where he wants it, beaching it right in. So again, no fuel in here, no oil either. We're going to let this dry, and then we're going to go after it. That shit can't happen on my watch. I suggest you not allow it to happen on yours either, because this is metal cowling that's embellishing, you know, this deck. And I don't know whether that's magnesium or whatever, but these are welds. Look, now we can see everything. Okay, so, you know, I mean, out in the sun on a nicer day, I'm not going to get crazy with this, but you get the point. Those welds are covered. And this is the rubberized 3M undercoating. And that'll kind of help hold all this at bay. And then I'll probably put some fluid film here in the business end and the ass here for the drive. So everybody will be happy. Yeah, here comes the sun. That'll dry nice. Anyway, then that's a little peace of mind for me. Okay, that's all nice and snotty now on the drive. Little fluid film on top of that, and it's like a greased cookie sheet. It gets kind of hard, but not tacky. And it just, I don't know, it seems to stay there. So yeah, now I feel better. We'll get that together. And look, quick little moment, and there's some housekeeping done. Beats 0.1% at a bank, right? I mean, you get something like this and then get it out in a few years, you really got something. Or maybe no, we'll see. It'll be interesting, won't it? Okay, and then with finality, you can kind of see how that dries to a dull, again, like a greased cookie sheet, like a parching paper, like wax paper. I don't know how to explain it, but it just seems to ward off grass. Nothing wants to stick to it. And then again, the business end amid the self-propulsion is embellished and all that same stuff, fluid film. Good stuff. And this usage, it just comes in a can. Good stuff. All right, let's get some oil in it. And now I've got that all cleaned off, but look, I didn't touch it. There he goes. Listen. That is Honda Grace. Yeah. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, you're welcome. Are you ready for the surprise? You didn't know it was engaged, did you? So with finality, I think these do garner good return. I think they merit that investment that you might want to consider making. And when you see them, you know, and people feel guilted out, then make advantage of that guilt. This is my third time. And I don't know, I just these up or try and move it, they're just, you know, they're so angry. They're so nice and heavy built. They reminded me of just a cast iron ball bearing. Anyway, that's my opinion. So after that, it's just utter grace, and put a good swallow of Lucas in the oil filler there, and some oil. I don't know, maybe, I don't even think it's a quart. I think it's about 3/4 of a quart, the capacity. It's not very much. And just check it, you know, with this stick. Easy to read. And like I said, a spill of seafoam in the fuel supply, and put them away and get them out in 20 years or something, and see what happens in another world. Maybe a museum will buy them. I know, it doesn't make any sense to me either. So there it is. That wraps it up. And thanks for watching. I'm Thomas E.